Hi, my name is David P. Shapiro. I'm a San Diego-based criminal lawyer, and I'm also the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P. Shapiro, based out of San Diego, California. My firm helps good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. And there are a few crimes, particularly crimes within a sexual assault realm or sex crime umbrella, that scare people when they're accused of it more than being accused of possessing or distributing child pornography. And generally speaking, there are a couple of reasons. One is a lot of times with child pornography cases, these cases go to federal court. And federal court tends to be more harsh. There tends to be more mandatory minimums. There tends to be less negotiation and plea bargaining between the prosecution and the defense than if it's in state court. But either way, though, the general premise is the same, is that you are accused of possessing, 99 and a half out of 100 times on a computer, images or videos of minors, people under 18 engaged in some sexual act. And the thought of that from the public, as I'm sure you know, is that you are a terrible person, you need to be punished, we need to lock you up and worry about everything else later. Well, thankfully, the law says that you are afforded to the same protections as anyone else would be. And that's where we come in, because we make sure that we hold the prosecution to that burden. We make sure we argue that case to a jury, if we're at a jury trial, effectively, and more than effectively, in a fantastic manner, and get you the best defense possible, no matter what you're charged with. So make no mistake about it, we do not differentiate in the quality of service we provide our clients based on what you're charged with and what we may think of the offense. Another thing, people get in a lot of trouble with these types of cases, whether they knew about it or not. Far too often people admit to it. So, if someone raids my house while I'm doing this video and they find computers and there may be images on there, let's say hypothetically, of things that I should not have. Okay, not only do they need to prove, they being law enforcement or the prosecution, not only they need to prove that the images satisfy what is defined under law, whether federal or California law as child pornography, they need to define that I knew about it and that I had something to do with it. So, when you get asked questions like, well, does anyone else have access to your computer? And you say, no, absolutely not. That's an example. You're not supposed to lie, but don't even answer that question. Because look what you've done. You've eliminated thousands of people that could have had access, that could have hacked onto that computer, that could have used it when you weren't there. They could have possibly planted that there to get you in trouble. Same type of thing. So when you're asked these questions, listen, you may need help if this is in fact true, but it doesn't mean that you have to go to prison for years, if not decades, by your own doing. Stop the bleeding. Stop making this worse than it needs to be. Start reaching out to a lawyer instead of speaking to the police. There's going to come a time and a place to atone for what you've done, if in fact you've done it. And there's going to come a time and a place where you can get the help that you need if in fact you need it. But whether you're factually innocent or whether you're as guilty as the day is long, it doesn't matter if they can't prove it. And they can't prove these cases a lot of times without your help. And your help comes by way of statements, but your help comes by way of talking to the police, by apologizing to the police, these types of things. And it really hurts what a quality criminal defense law firm like mine can do to protect your future, to hopefully keep you out of prison, to hopefully enable you to keep your job, and to walk you through the process of what you could do to restore your reputation and put your life back together when charged or accused of possessing child pornography. If you find yourself in this situation, if you want our help, we encourage you to give us a call, 619-295-3555.